Kerala's midlands have long carried the mark of rubber, a crop that shaped generations and with them the landscape and the local economy. At the heart of this vast rubber belt lies Kottayam, the land of latex, and this is where we are today. But there are signs of change. Over the years, farmers have been moving away from rubber. The reasons are many. Falling prices, rising costs, and a dwindling skilled workforce, all directly or indirectly linked to a changing climate. As old plantations are cut down, patches of fruit trees, even exotic ones, along with spices and mixed crops are beginning to take their place. In Elikulam Panchayat, we meet Radhakrishnan, one of the very few seasoned tappers whose day still starts with tapping rubber.
രാവിലെ ടാപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ വന്നതാണ്. 40 വർഷമായിട്ട് ഈ ഫീൽഡിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. പിന്നെ ഈ കാലാവസ്ഥ വ്യതിയാനം കൊണ്ട് തൊഴിലവസരങ്ങൾ കുറവാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ മേഖലയിൽ തൊഴിലാളികൾ നിന്ന് പിടിക്കുന്നില്ല. ഒരാണ്ടിൽ 60 വെട്ടാ കിട്ടുന്നത്. 360 ദിവസത്തിൽ 60 വെട്ടാ കിട്ടുള്ളൂ. ബാക്കി 300 ദിവസം തൊഴിലില്ല. പിന്നെ ഈ കാടൊക്കെ പിടിച്ച് കിടക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് പുതിയ പിള്ളേർ സെറ്റിനൊന്നും താല്പര്യമില്ല.
Today, Kerala produces about 71% of India's natural rubber, with close to 5.5 lakh hectares of rubber currently under cultivation. But there is a significant fall from nearly 84% a decade ago. Rubber prices have also turned volatile. What was selling at Rs 247 per kg in August 2024 dropped to Rs 187 within 3 months. At this juncture, what holds small rubber farmers together and forms a strong support system for them is the Rubber Producers Society, a local cooperative that connects farmers to the rubber board, helping them access schemes, training and market support.
കൂലിച്ചെലവൊക്കെ കൂടി. അപ്പോൾ ഒന്നാമതായിട്ട് ഇപ്പം വെട്ടുകൂലിയൊക്കെ പണ്ട് 1 രൂപ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പം 2 ഇപ്പം 3 രൂപ വരെ ഞങ്ങൾ വെട്ടുകൂലി കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഉൽപ്പന്നത്തിന് വിലയില്ല. ഉൽപ്പാദനവും പഴയ പോലെ ഇല്ല. ഇപ്പം കാലാവസ്ഥയായി മാറുന്നതനുസരിച്ച് റബ്ബറിൻ്റെ ഇലയായാലും പൊഴിഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ ഇപ്പോൾ എപ്പോഴും മഴയും വരുമ്പോൾ പണ്ട് കാലം കിട്ടുന്ന ഉൽപ്പാദനം 100 മരത്തിന് 10 ഷീറ്റ് എന്നുള്ള രീതി കിട്ടുന്നത് ഇപ്പോൾ അത് കിട്ടുന്നില്ല. ഒരു 5 ഷീറ്റ് ആ രീതിയിലാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ കിട്ടുന്നത്.
ഒരു 250 രൂപ കിട്ടിയാൽ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ നിലയിൽ റബ്ബറിന് വരുന്ന വിലയെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഇപ്പം നമുക്ക് 180 രൂപയാണ് കിട്ടുന്നത്.
ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ റബ്ബർ പാലിന് 160 അല്ലേ?
റബ്ബർ പാലിന് 160 രൂപ.
Earlier, almost every household with rubber knew how to tap on their own. But with migration and better job opportunities, people drifted away from the skill and the workforce thinned. Shyamlal, a retired teacher and second-generation grower from Pala, still tends to his 3-acre plot, but now finds himself at crossroads, unsure whether to continue with rubber or shift to something new.
Last 30 years, I was away from home. I was in abroad. That was one of the reason I could not learn tapping, and I could not learn tapping. And same thing happened to my son. The next generation also same thing happened. He also did not know. And in this situation, I was thinking to change from rubber to some other system of farming. And here I have around 1 acre of land. And here I am planning to cut down the tree, and I wanted to go for some fruit. I wanted to grow some fruits, and I hope it may be sometimes more profitable than the rubber. And I have some other land that I will keep there rubber, and I will see. I can compare both the fruit as well as rubber. That is what I am planning.
Rubber trees are tapped with a clean cut, letting the white latex drip into small cups tied to the trunk. After a few hours, the latex is collected, taken home and mixed with formic acid to help it coagulate. Once it thickens, it's fed through a hand-cranked roller to form long, even sheets. These sheets are washed, then hung to dry in smokehouses or simply open sheds. But even though sheets fetch 20 to 30 rupees more per kilo, sheet making has sharply declined. Rising labor costs and few helping hands mean most farmers now choose the simpler options, selling the raw latex directly. But the real concern isn't just the economics of rubber, it's the ecological impact we can no longer ignore. Kerala's farmland once mimicked a natural forest, layered and diverse. Into this rich, well-watered soil, rubber was introduced and it flourished. From the 60s to the 90s, rubber brought strong yields and boosted the economy. Farmers leaned heavily on it because the land was still carrying its original strength. But this was only the first cycle when the soil was still unbroken. To understand rubber monoculture's impact, we turn to conservation ecologist Dr. Gis Sebastian.
So now we realize the economic resilience that we achieved from rubber was at the cost of ecological stability. If we look at it specifically, we can see that the environmental conditions, specifically soil degradation and water resources and also the biodiversity, all these parameters of a land that is completely destroyed specifically in the agricultural landscapes in Kerala. So if you look at the soil conditions, we can see that wherever we have completed at least 1 or 2 cycles of rubber, the acidity has increased. The soil acidity has increased and also the carbon content in the soil has declined. And as a result, the soil structure has changed and the fertility has reduced.
Across Kerala's midlands, one thing is clear: rubber is no longer every farmer's future. Pioneering this shift is Verky George, a US-based engineer turned farmer in Kootikal, who swapped rubber for rambutan orchards, aiming for steadier returns and sustainable farming.
I think exotic fruits are more sustainable than rubber, because what makes something sustainable for the farmers is what would be sustainable on the ground. So if it is not sustaining the farmer in his basic needs, I don't think the farmer is going to plant more rubber anyway. But if the exotic fruits are sustaining the farmer, he will make sure that the soil health is maintained. He will make sure that there is the trees are protected, because he wants an income from that.
Verky walks us through the 3 phases that defines this rambutan farm. Beginning with young rambutan saplings intercropped with pineapple.
Now the reason why we picked pineapple as our intercrop for the first 3 years is because you can get a decent income out of pineapple for the first 3 years by giving it for a lease, or you do your cultivation yourself. By 3 years, these rambutans will be ready to yield. So the first 3 years you get some income from the pineapple, and from the 3rd year onwards you start getting income from the rambutan. Now the income cycle is not broken.
With rubber, farmers have a short window for intercrops, and pineapple fits in the first 3 years. After that, it's a long stretch until the 8th year with no latex and no income. This is the second phase, and these rambutan trees are in their 4th year, already bearing fruit once and thriving in Kerala's climate. Intercropped with coffee, this patch is already seeing the first yields from the coffee plants as well. In this 3rd phase, we see fully grown rambutan trees, 7 to 8 years old, standing tall alongside coffee.
Here it will remain on this stage for till we plan to plant something else, or till another 60 to 70 years. This is probably our first coffee harvest as well. So like I said before, now we are going on a dual income with coffee as well as rambutan fully yielding.
Kerala receives nearly 200 days of rainfall a year, a unique advantage Verghese has learned to use wisely. He has rebuilt his farming system around water and soil health, harvesting rainwater through lined ponds, recharging his bore wells, and keeping the ground mulched. As more farmers turn to exotics, the real question now is, how do they ensure they are doing it sustainably? For now, it's the experiences of a few pioneer farmers that serve as the main knowledge bank.
Instead of clearing all the trees off, you try to incorporate multiple layered trees, like say for example timber trees, or fruit crops like jackfruit or mango and breadfruit, like that. And again, you can bring in, if you really want to experiment with exotic crops, you can bring in rambutan or durian or whatever it is, but make sure that it is always done in an integrated system.
But not every shift away from rubber follows this kind of planning. Many farmers are moving from one monoculture to another, and that jump comes with its own ecological risks.
So I'm saying to integrate all the native and exotic trees together and create an intercropping system that suits your land and that allows your land to regenerate. So when you design a system like that, it starts from the ground. Actually, you allow a proper ground cover to fix the soil and to reduce the loss of soil moisture, and also you maintain tall huge trees with deep taproot systems so that it actually functions well. It brings out the nutrients from the soil to the topsoil, and that is how the sharing happens. So as you can see, once Tocarpus hirsutus or annually grows into a huge tree, the root literally travels in all directions and it grows like...
With rubber, the nutrients absorbed from the soil don't return to it. They leave the system as latex. So over time, rubber doesn't replenish or enrich the deeper soil nutrients. When it comes to regenerative farming, 80-year-old V.A. Thomas Kartakayam stands as a model. Having transformed his 5-acre rubber plantation into a thriving organic jackfruit orchard.
ഇപ്പോൾ കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ തെക്ക് മുതൽ വടക്ക് വരെ യാത്ര ചെയ്ത് രുചികരമായ ചക്ക കിട്ടുന്ന പ്ലാവ് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്ത് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച് ഞാൻ ബഡ് ചെയ്ത് എൻ്റെ മുറ്റത്ത് ഇവിടെ കുറേ ഏരിയ ഉണ്ട്, ഇവിടെ തൈ എല്ലാം നിർത്തി. അപ്പം 2016 നവംബറിൽ ഞാൻ 114 വെറൈറ്റി പ്ലാവുകൾ ഇവിടെ 1.25 ഏക്കർ സ്ഥലത്തെ റബ്ബർ മുറിച്ച് കളഞ്ഞിട്ട് നടുകയുണ്ടായി. ആ 114 വെറൈറ്റി പ്ലാവുകൾ നടുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലൊരു ഗോൾ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലോകത്തിലെ മോസ്റ്റ് വെറൈറ്റീസിൻ്റെ ഒരു ജീൻ ബാങ്ക് നട്ടുപിടിപ്പിക്കണം.
Today, his 5-acre farm is home to over 400 native, hybrid and rare exotic jackfruit varieties. Thomas's jackfruit farming model, unlike rubber plantations that often deplete groundwater, is designed to retain water sustainably, actually increasing his groundwater levels.
വാട്ടർ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് ഞാൻ അവിടെയെല്ലാം കുഴി കുത്തിയത് മാത്രം. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ താഴുന്ന വെള്ളം നമ്മുടെ താഴുന്ന മണ്ണിലെ കുളത്തിലെയും കിണറ്റിലെയും ജലവിധാനം ഉയർത്തി നിർത്തും. ഈ കിണറ്റിലെ വെള്ളം പറ്റിയാൽ കരകോർവിൽ വെച്ചാലേ വെള്ളം പൊങ്ങുമായിരുന്നുള്ളൂ. ഇതൊക്കെ വാട്ടർ ലെവൽ താഴുന്നില്ല, അവിടെ നിൽക്കുക.
For farmers still pinning their hopes on rubber, the Rubber Board has been stepping in with the support and training to steady them and guide them beyond latex.
And many of the stakeholders is not aware about our Rubber Board's downstream activities. We are helping a lot of MSMEs this thing also. We have the capacity to train the entrepreneurs. Apart from tire, around 50,000 products are being made from the latex, It is not that producing latex and leave it. If you produce latex, what you are making out of it? Whether you are selling as such as a latex, or you are making the sheet, or from the latex you are making the value added product. So these are all matters.
As Kerala stands at this turning point, the question no longer is whether rubber will stay or new crops will take over. Plantations may change, varieties may evolve, and farmers may choose different paths. But the real concern lies deeper. Will we care for the soil and restore our ecology in ways that keep these landscapes alive for the next generation?
Thanks for watching Eco India. If you like the story, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Scroll.in on YouTube.